I've been so excited about the window greenhouse premiere, which actually is happening in like an hour, but by the time you see this, it will be over, that I kind of forgot that I'm still a vlogger and I still have to post a video tomorrow. So let's go around the farm. I have just a few more cabbages that are actually edible that didn't get eaten by deer or pests. All the wasted ones have been going to the goats and the pigs. Everything else is bolted at this point, pulled it out, and these will probably all be out of here within the next week. We'll be setting up the new trellises and getting ready to do our spring planting, which will be in just a couple of weeks. All the tomatoes and peppers are going to go in, and I'm so excited. Still gotta transplant these. I talked to you guys the other day about how I got a little hasty and sowed some warm weather stuff that was not frost hardy, and then we've had some really cold nights. I don't think it's gonna be an issue because those things haven't broken ground yet, and it's just been hovering right at freezing. So there's a good chance that it didn't actually get cold enough and damage those seeds. I think they're probably fine. We'll see if they come up here in the next week or so, and if not, at that point it'll be safe for me to re-sow them, and I don't think we'll have any more freezes after tonight or tomorrow night. The 1,000 head kale sprouts are starting to grow. I'm gonna thin those out, and things like this borage are having no problem whatsoever with the almost freezing nights. Here are the peas that I so anxiously awaited. Some of them are starting to grab hold of the trellis. Now, on the ends, these did not germinate well as down here. And they were from new seed packs. I am assuming that that probably had to do with the fact that I sowed those and we got so much rain. I don't know, they could have been driven deeper, misplaced. I don't know what happened. However, we're kind of past the point of sowing sweet peas here. I'm in 7B, Arkansas. Gets hot, and I think if I were to go ahead and sow those now, it would probably be too late. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit and throw green beans on the end of this trellis. So it'll be green beans with peas in the middle. Guess what I don't have to be worried about anymore? You guys catching a peek of that. This is the first vlog I've made that I didn't have to worry about that. It's a huge relief. I'm enjoying the new greenhouse very much. What do you think, Toby?
I love it. You love it?
It's definitely a beautiful space. It's warm. It's holding heat really well. I need to get a thermometer for in here because we don't have one in here yet. It's definitely holding heat though. The vents opened on their own today, which was nice to see that they're working properly. So we're gonna take this damaged cabbage up to the goats. Hey, you wanna take those collards up to the goats with me?
Yeah.
I'm going out of town on Tuesday for 2 days down to an event in Dallas for Job's Organics, which is a national brand that makes gardening fertilizers and stuff like that. And Sweet Maya's gonna be holding down the fort without me.
Consider the fort held.
Down.
Down.
We come bearing gifts. They look happy to see us.
Yes.
Gotta break it up or one goat will get all of them.
Mayhem still has not kidded. She has an incredibly swollen udder and super loose ligaments, and is probably going to wait until I am out of town to have babies. Like, the fact that she has not had these kids yet is mind-boggling to me. I actually went back and looked to make sure when I put her in with Christopher Walken, but the thing is that she was in with him for like 3 weeks, and so I don't know when within that window she went into heat, but it's looking like it was definitely the end of that window that she got pregnant, because her earliest time to be pregnant was just a couple weeks ago. So she'll definitely have them within the next week, I would say. I talked to Natalie, my friend. Her channel is Hey It's a Good Life, and she is flying in this Thursday for the shindig. She's actually going to be flying in the same day I'm flying back, and she's crossing her fingers and hoping that my goats give birth while she's here. And Miriam's looking pretty close herself, but Miriam, even though her udder is looking a lot larger, her her ligaments are still pretty solid feeling, but Mayhan's ligaments are just all but gone. I can just barely feel anything. I don't know. How many do y'all think she'll have? She's only ever had one at a time before. She's kidded twice, and she's bred to the Saanen, so he's a little bit bigger. So I don't know, I'm kind of hoping for more than one, but counting on one. Is that a good cabbage, girlies? I need to water everything in here. It is curling, and I see some stress on these plants. Like right there, that little guy's saying, give me water, please. Okay, I had to stop for a minute and water my plants because they were looking sad. Got lots of new seedlings coming in. Look at all of these eggplants sprouting. That's really awesome. And here I have a ton of basil sprouts as well as okras. And this tray is just basils of all kinds. More holy basil of a different variety. Cardinal basil, blue spice basil, some shiso, which is similar to basil, licorice basil, and Thai sweet basil. Since I have basil sprouts to spare, and there are a lot of them, when I come in here sometimes I'll just pinch one little one off and eat it like a microgreen. There's so much flavor in a teeny tiny little sprout. Oh my gosh, it just makes me so excited for summer. Basil, as well as tomatoes and watermelon, is probably one of my favorite like summer flavors. I put in everything. One of my favorite things to drink in the summer is strawberry basil lemonade made with fresh basil out of the garden. I love pestos, just eating basil fresh. I just love to eat basil. And so picking on these little microgreens is getting me really, really excited about the upcoming food season. Hey, sweet Maya.
What do you think about giving this greenhouse a little bit of a facelift on the interior after we get it cleaned out?
Like how?
I had some pretty good ideas down in the street, so you know, maybe update your work table, make it fold downable. Nah.
You just like improvement, don't you?
Yeah, I need to get some bulbs. We got some burning out in here.
Yeah. Hey, come taste this.
Is it micro?
Yeah, it's just a little basil sprout.
Isn't it funny how microgreens are macro in flavor?
Nice play on words there.
Well, that's what they say in the technology world. Micro's the new macro. Or something like that.
Do you like that tiny basil?
Yeah, it just leaves you wanting more though.
I know.
You're like, okay, well, that's like nibbling on a piece of pizza and being like throwing the rest of the trash.
You just can't. You can't eat all of these. You could take out a whole one of these, and then we would have no basil plants in the garden. They're gonna be so good.
Yeah.
That really does make me want to intentionally sprout some basil seeds for the purpose of microgreens. I just can't imagine that adding so much flavor to things. So good.
That would be good on a salad.
Yeah, we'll have to add that to our to-do list.
What do you think about turning the grow shelf after we're done sprouting all the peppers and stuff into just a microgreen setup?
I was thinking that would be a good thing to do. Speaking of our grow shelf, let's go inside and take a look at that. I don't think I've showed you guys that for a couple of days. Look at my peppers, they're coming along. These are a little slower, they were smaller to start with. Down here as well, these were a little smaller to begin with. So a few of the trays are just barely getting their first real leaves, but these little go-getters are making me excited for the fact that I will indeed have pepper plants in the garden this year. They're definitely growing enough that I feel hopeful they're gonna do well. I'll actually probably move these out to the window greenhouse after we have this last really cold night. It'll be warm enough out there for them. Last night, we had a cold night. It was gonna freeze. So we went ahead and put a little space heater in the window greenhouse, not knowing how it was gonna do, and I moved my tomatoes down there. And this morning I went out there and it was downright hot in there. And the windows were all covered in condensation, and I was like, okay, well, that worked. So I feel pretty good about putting these out. And as Maya was saying, after we get done using this grow light setup with the heat mats for sprouting our plant starts, we're actually going to use this in the basement for growing microgreens. So that's my seed collection, as well as kind of where we deal with mail and stuff. It's not the tidiest place in my house, but you know, I've been coming down here and having to get into the seeds a lot to make my plan. So yeah, it's kind of a mess. I gotta get this room whipped into shape tomorrow so Natalie can stay in here when she comes. She watches my videos, so I hope you're looking forward to your accommodations, my dear. Look at my little shadow dog. You're a good boy bear. I have half of mine to just start showing you guys every single time Bear is underneath my feet. I know you catch glimpses of him and sometimes I put him on camera, but Bear is literally under my feet in like 90% of the videos that I shoot. No matter where I am in the house, in the garden, in the greenhouse. If I close him out of the greenhouse, he sleeps on the porch and waits for me. He is seriously my shadow dog. If I go lay down, if I'm not feeling well, he lays on the bed or on the floor. If I go to the bathroom, he sits at the door. And I love it. I wanted that for a long time. He's been a fantastic dog. Well, I'm actually almost out of time. I've got to run upstairs and make it to my own premiere of my window greenhouse. I'll be seeing y'all there. Of course, you won't be seeing this until tomorrow. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I bless you. Until next time.